What's up guys, welcome back to another FC25 video, and as you can tell from the title of this video, I have cooked up a tactic for every single formation in FC25. This was a lot of fun, so let's get started with the 3-back formations. As you can see on the screen, there's only 5 of them, so this will not take too long. But first of all, we've got the 3-1-4-2. To be honest, I would not recommend playing 3 backs, but if you want to have fun, play a 3-back. They're pretty good for attacking. This one I've tried to balance out a little bit with the holding DM, playmaker, box to box, inside forward, and the 2 strikers. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of attack, especially with the 2 strikers, so I don't know. 3 backs aren't really my formation. They're not really my type of thing that I like to do. But yeah, 3-4-1-2 as well. A little bit more attacking because it does not have the DM. It has a cam and the 2 center mids, so it's a little bit more attacking. And but yeah, I've tried to balance this one a little bit as well. I've got the playmaker on build up, so it comes back on defense a little bit. I don't know why he was on winger. That's a weird glitch. You can put him on balance if you want, I suppose, as well. But yeah, it's kind of, as I've said, 3 backs are notoriously difficult to defend with, of course. So I guess going forward is a little bit better. You know, sacrifice the attack a little bit, or defense, sorry, for a bit more attack. 3-4-2-1. I actually have played with this tactic before. I think it was, I can't remember when it was. It was some point this FIFA, or this FC rather. And honestly, not too bad. Not too bad with the 2 cams. I mean, Shadow Striker means they will do absolutely nothing on defense. But you can kind of get away with it because there's a lot of attack going forward. You can keep the ball pretty well. So, yeah, pretty direct though. So, you know what? It's not too bad. Moving on to the 3-4-3. I've cooked something up very wacky for this one. This is a little bit different to what you usually do with your wingers and your wide midfielders. But yeah, I think this works. I think I've used this formation as well. By the way, when it says short passing on build-up style for any of these, it's meant to be balanced. It just defaults, and I forgot to change some of them. But yeah, this one, I've got 2 wide midfielders and a holding midfielder, and then a playmaker on attack. So pretty decent going forward. I believe you can make these wide midfielders go on defend as well when you're attacking. So you could probably bring one of them back to defend, put like a wing back there. But for the 3-5-2, this one's actually not too bad. Because there's the 2 DMs, you can kind of play this kind of better. This is probably the best 3-back formation in my opinion because of the 2 DMs. DMs are just so important in this game. But yeah, this is what I've cooked up. And the other thing I thought of is changing the deep line playmakers to holding. If you want to go really defensive. Because then if you do this, you've still got 5 players going forward, which honestly isn't that bad, and you've got a good bit of defensive solidity as well. But that is it for the 3-back formations, and I'm just about to move on to the 4-back formations. As you can see, there is a lot of these, so most of the video is going to be on these. 4-1-2-1-2 first of all. Very, very strange. I like this at the start of the game. Now I absolutely hate it. I don't think I could play with this anymore. But you know what? I've cooked up a little something here. Just a little something. Deep line playmaker defend with a wing back. Obviously, well, not obviously, but probably the best thing to do is focus a lot of play on the side where your wing back is. Obviously, you can make your right back your wing back if you want to and have the left back on defend. But yeah, where the wing back is, you're going to want to put a lot of your play through that. This one, another good formation in my opinion for a lot of people. I've come up against this many, many times in Rivals. But yeah, good for tiki-taka with the basically 4 center mids. I mean, technically they're DMs and cams, but it is what it is. Like, the play you can actually get with this is pretty good. So I've done the DM and one of the center mids on holding. Fullback defend, you could probably have both these on balanced if you really want to. I've done one on defend and one on balanced. But you do have enough with the 2 midfielders kind of dropping back. And then you have the fullbacks going forward as well, just to provide that little bit of width that this formation otherwise lacks. Next up, we've got the 4-1-3-2, which I actually used kind of recently, because this is actually a pretty good formation. I'm not even going to lie. This formation, when used right, is actually quite good. Because you've got the DM, you've got a centre mid, which will help on defence, The two wingers will also kind of come back on defense a little bit as well. But I don't know. Doesn't seem that popular. I don't come against it too much. I did like it when I used it for a little while. This is what I've cooked up. Again, as I've said with the other one that had the wing back, most of the play you're going to want to do on the left hand side or wherever your wing back is. I haven't decided for the deep line playmaker build up. Could be better than roaming. It does kind of make the playmaker in a weird position though sometimes. 4-1-4-1. I actually did use this formation very recently. I think it was about a week ago. I was kind of experimenting when the new season came out because I stopped liking my 4-3-3 third variation. So I was like, you know what? Let's try some formations. This is one of the ones I tried. Pretty solid, very good defensively. With the two centre mids as well, they come back on defence, and you have a DM. It's very, very good defensively. Going forward is a little bit more tricky though. 4-2-1-3, the formation that I am currently using in the game. I'm a shameless individual that uses the 4-2-1-3. No one in the community likes this formation when they play against it, but yeah, there's so many people play it. And this is what I'm currently rocking with. It's pretty standard. I mean, it's pretty similar to my 4-3-3-3 that I used to use, apart from the cam instead of the centre mids. All the roles are exactly the same, and it's pretty good all round. 4-2-2-2. This is a formation that I'd like to play more of, but I don't know how to play it very well. But the tactics I've actually cooked up for this, I have used, and I think they're pretty good. I do think these are pretty decent. I mean, yeah. Again, I've got the wing back in there. I think wing backs are very, very important when you have this narrow of a formation. Shadow Striker, Playmaker. I actually cooked one up a while ago where I had the Playmaker on build up, which was interesting. Let's just say that. It kind of made it like a 4-3-2-1 in a way. 4-2-3-1. Speaking of the 4-2-3-1, here it is. Again, I've used this formation very, very recently. This is a slight change to what I used to have it on. I used to have it on the wing back and the wing back defend. No, full back defend. What am I saying? On both right back and left back. Now I've got the wing back in there. Two Shadow Strikers, a Playmaker. Very attacking how I've done it, but you can get away with so much. 4-2-3-1 with the two wingers instead of the two cams. Again, I've used this pretty recently once I was looking for new tactics to try, and this was one that crossed my mind, and honestly, I quite like it. This is what I was using, and it's pretty decent. I mean, it's a little bit more difficult than the 4-2-3-1 to go 4-2-1-3, to go forward with. But defensively, the right mid and the left mid are just a little bit better. And overall, I'd say it's still very, very solid. I think a lot of people use this formation still. So definitely one that I would recommend. And yeah, if you're familiar with like 4-3-3s and stuff and you want to try something a bit more defensive, give this one a go. 4-2-4. I don't think I've played against this year. Oh no, I have. I think I played against it once. And it was very strange because I think, if I remember right, the guy I was playing had it on like a defensive approach, aggressive, and two playmakers. And I was like, what am I seeing? But this is what I've gone with. The false 9 kind of improves the defense a tiny little bit, not too much. But having that link up with the playmaker is quite nice. So, yeah, but I wouldn't really recommend this. It's way, way too attacking. Centre mids do nothing. Speaking of centre mids, here's one with another 3 centre midfielders. Very similar to the 4-1-2-1-2. Just the extra centre mid instead of the DM. And again, I've played this so many times and I've been cooked by it so many times, but I cannot for the life of me figure out why this formation is actually good. I've played against it so many times, just cooked by direct football right up the middle. You cannot defend it. I don't know what it is. I struggle so much. But the 2 holding midfielders, 2 playmakers, and the fullback, even make this a wing back if you want. You might struggle defensively a little bit, but you know what? It probably makes the formation a lot better actually doing it like that. But yeah, 4-3-2-1, nasty. 4-3-2-1 is nasty. Or it was last year. This year is not where it's at really. I mean, I've played against a few people. I think there's a pro used it actually. I think it's Nicholas99 used it, the Iceman, and he did pretty well with it, but I do not remember his tactics, so I've cooked up my own. 2 holding again, another playmaker, another wingback, because I just love wingbacks in this game. It is so good. Wingbacks in this game, unbelievable. You can probably have the playmaker here. Actually, if you do this, it kind of turns it into a 4-3-3-4 with 2 cams instead of the 2 wingers, which might be quite educational, to be fair. It might be quite useful. But yeah, that's the 4-3-2-1. Now we move on to some more traditional formations, 4-3-3s, etc. First one, the 4-3-3 with the 3 centre mids. The first variation is interesting. Once again, I'm trying to concentrate on kind of one side going forward. This is how I like to go forward, is with the wing back. So having the playmaker on that side will help. 4-3-3 second variation with 1 DM, 2 centre mids. Pretty solid, to be fair. The centre mids help out defensively quite a lot, and going forward it's not too bad either. With the playmaker and the box to box and the wing back. Once again, looking for the wing play. You can go through the middle, I suppose. You can just ping it up to the striker, but the most important thing with this is going up the wing, trying to work the ball about a little bit. And yeah, again, not bad. I've used these before. And the one I have a lot of experience with, the 4-3-3 third variation. I think I used this formation for 2-3 months, something like that. Maybe not, maybe 2 months. 2 months is probably about right. But this thing was unbelievable for a long time. But now I've noticed I'm struggling to go forward with it. The DMs are a little bit strange now. So that's why I switched to 4-2-1-3. 4-3-3-4, 2 centre mids, 1 cam. I have been cooked by this thing so many times as well. I don't know what it is. Constant pressure. You struggle to defend it. They go forward. And then somehow they can just defend. I don't know how it works. But 2 box to boxes, a playmaker and the wing back. Very attacking. To be fair, you could probably put that wing back on full back if you want to be a bit safer. 4-4-2. This is one of the old classic formations that has been very good this year, surprisingly. I did not expect the 4-4-2 to be anything like it has been this year. But this thing has actually been really good. And this is what I've cooked up. I believe this is similar to the Pro Player Texas tactics. Kind of similar. I think there's some differences with the like depth and style, I think. But that's what I've come up with. Pretty solid. 4-4-2 second variation. And I have had to come up with some wacky tactics for this, because with the 2 DMs, unbelievable defensively. I mean, this thing's unbelievable defensively. But going forward, I've come up with something wacky. I know there's deep line playmaker build up now. But how about you just throw caution to the wind, and you have a DM going to centre half, the other one holding, and then the 2 wing backs attacking wing. Why not? Why not? Why not? It's very good. 3-1-4-2 going forward. Why not? Pretty good defensively still as well. Sure. Not bad. 4-4-1-1. One of the other industry plant formations this year. Let's just call it that. So many people play this thing. And I can see why. I played it myself pretty recently. I think like a couple weeks ago. And I was pretty impressed with this thing. I was pretty impressed with how this worked. This is what I've cooked up. Again, a little bit weird. You may want to go with a fullback balanced or wing back. I'm not really sure. But yeah, with what I've used, it was pretty good. Pretty good going forward. Defensively, a little bit shaky because of the centre mids instead of the DMs. But overall, pretty darn solid. And the 4-5-1 with the 2 cams and the centre mid. Another extremely attacking formation. But from what I've done to it, it might be usable with the 2 fullbacks on defend and the centre mid on holding. Because it still gives you 5 players to go forward with, shadow striker playmaker and 2 inside forwards with the striker. I mean, it might be usable. I don't know though, man. This formation has always been notoriously difficult to use because it's so attacking. However, this formation, which is the last formation coincidentally of the 4 backs, was very, very good at the start of this year's game. I used this formation for quite a long time. I think the first season I used this for, and maybe a little bit more as well. And I've recreated, I believe, the tactics I was using back in the day, back in September, back in October. I believe this is what I was using. And these were pretty good. I have to say, I did enjoy using this formation when it was back. Pretty good defensively as well. So, yeah. 5 back formations. The Rats. This is the Rat era. This is the Rat section of this video. But it had to be done. It had to be done. I said I was doing one for every single one. And as much as I despise the 5 backs, it had to be done. So here it is. Attacking wing backs, box to box, holding, playmaker, 2 strikers. Not bad. 5-2-1-2 is probably the worst out of the lot of them, let's be honest though. 5-2-3 though, might be worse, I don't know. Again, I have not used 5 backs too much, so I'm only guessing. But from what I've seen, the 5-2-3 ain't too great either. But this is what I've cooked up, because as much as I hate 5 backs, I had to be there. This is what I've come up with. It looks a bit wacky, but it might work. The attacking wing backs are the key to any 5 back formation. You've got to have the wing backs or the attacking wing backs there, so who knows? 5-3-2. This might be the best 5 back formation. I'm not even kidding. 5-4-1, you can argue this might be the best one, because this year they made it a DM instead of 3 center mids. So basically you can have something like this monstrosity, where you have 2 playmakers, 2 advanced forwards, and 2 wing backs. And when you're defending, you can still have a holding DM and 3 centre backs. How do you beat this formation? I have not a clue. I have no clue. Because by the time you're ready to attack again, it's just settle back into the shape. And where are you going from there? 5-4-1 to end off the video. The rattiest formation in the game. If you don't want to score goals, if you don't want to concede goals, you use this formation right here. Short passing is not meant to be that, it's meant to be balanced. But look at this. I mean, shameless individuals use this formation. Shameless individuals use the 5-4-1. This is what I've cooked up. It's an absolute mess, but there we go. 5-4-1. That's going to wrap up for this video. That is a tactic for every single formation in the game. So if you have enjoyed, please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.